So I finally saw Halloweentown. So I want to talk about Halloweentown 1, 2, and 3. I did not have Disney Channel growing up. I was very much a Nickelodeon snick kid. Remember Roundhouse? So weird. And I watched all three Halloweentown movies, and I find them very fun, charming. They're very corny, very corny, cheesy, but that's what they were going for. They knew what they were. They were Disney Channel TV movies. And so I watched the first one recently, and immediately I Googled, did Halloweentown influence Harry Potter? There's a lot of similarities. You have a young child who is part of this like magical family, and they have no idea. So at the beginning of Halloweentown, you got Kimberly J. Brown's character, Marnie, and she's like, she's into weird stuff. She loves Halloween, but the mom really was a total bitch. I really did not like the mom, but I get it. She's trying to be protective. So the mom's like, no, you can't go trick-or-treating. It's like, you can't go trick-or-treating? Anyway, she's like, I love this weird stuff, Mom. Come on. And then the grandma comes just randomly out of nowhere on a magic bus, which feels very Harry Potter. And she starts talking to the mom, and she's like, oh, Marnie needs to start her training, which is very Harry Potter. And then Marnie goes to Halloweentown, and it's fun. It's cheesy. It's charming. I really grew to love Kimberly J. Brown. I initially thought, why isn't she in more stuff? She's in the first 3 Halloweentown movies, and there's a lot of controversy about that 4th one, which we'll get to. But she's not in a lot of stuff, which I just find interesting because I find her to be very charming, and then her acting ability just grew over time. I thought she was good in 1, I thought she was better in 2, and I thought she was best in 3. You look at her Wikipedia, it's, movies, there's a handful, I'm assuming minor parts, and then the last thing she was in was something called Friendship from 2010. I don't know. I don't understand it because there's women out there who, blew a dude on camera and were somehow able to parlay that into a multi-decade, multifaceted career along with her whole family. I don't know why that's possible. And then Kimberly J. Brown is acting her ass off, carrying this original Disney movie franchise for years. And I don't know. She's 40 now. She seems happy. I hope she's happy. I hope she's fulfilled. I was reading that she reconnected with her Halloweentown 2 co-star and they got married. And I was just like, I feel like she's stuck in Halloweentown. I want to tell her, like, there's other dicks out there, There's a lot of dicks out there. But maybe she's happy with that dick. But then I started thinking, maybe it's a good thing that she's not oversaturated. A lot of young actresses start acting and then they get exploited time and over again. And then they just end up messed up. But so she seems to be doing fine. She seems to be doing these like meetups, like Halloweentown meetups. So I guess we can just all be happy for her. Oh, before I get on to Halloween 2, I have to mention that in Halloween 1, I hated the little brother character. The whole time I was hoping that he would just die. Either accidental or intentional, it didn't matter to me. Accidentally decapitated in some medieval guillotine or something, or accidentally fell into a cauldron, or just fell into a burning stake. I just absolutely hated him. He was so obnoxious, and I hated him. All right, let's move on to Halloweentown 2, Kalabar's Revenge. This one's my favorite because this one, to me, it felt like essentially like an hour-long Halloween party where he was a lot more tolerable, I will say that. And so the plot of this one, if I can remember correctly, it starts off that they're at a Halloween party at their own house, and Grandma at the end of the first movie moves in with them. And so there's this kid named Cal, and he introduces himself, and Marnie takes a liking to him. It turns out, spoiler alert for a 2001 movie, that Cal is the child of Kalabar from the first movie. Things don't turn out as they seem. Anyway, Cal is a huge dick Maybe he has a huge dick. Maybe that's why Kimberly likes him. Anyway, so they end up at this dance. The whole thing is like dripping with Halloween vibes, which is why I really like this movie. They end up at a dance, and then, the power of the Cromwell family is able to overcome evil, and then good prevails over evil. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So in Halloweentown High, I thought this was a dip in the franchise, if you will. And the reason is probably that there's not a lot of Halloweentown in it. I don't even know if they go to Halloweentown. There's bits where with the Halloweentown Council, which is very reminiscent of the Ministry of Magic to me, and they go into this secret room also, which reminded me a lot about the Room of Requirement. But anyway, so the plot of this one involves Marnie has this idea of taking a bunch of kids from Halloweentown and bringing them into a school, into her class, high school class, so that they can kind of learn from each other and adapt with each other and kind of mix with each other. Essentially it could kind of be seen as a metaphor for like immigration. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But anyway, this one didn't feel Halloween-y. And I watch these movies because I want that Halloween vibes. Corny and cheesy or whatever it is, I just want those Halloween vibes. And in this one, half the time the kids are disguised as humans, so they're not even in their monster selves. They don't go to Halloweentown. And there's just this huge chunk in the middle where they're just in high school. There's this Halloween carnival at the end, which is cool. That part's cool. There was probably some high-ranking executive who were like, this franchise is called Halloweentown. Maybe we should inject some Halloween into the mix. So the end is cool, but this movie also looked really ugly to me. I think it looked worse than Halloweentown 2. I'm not sure, but it just looked bad. It's surprising to me because we know Disney today in 2025 is one of the richest companies in the world, if not the richest company in the world. And the budgets for these TV movies are obviously so low. Now, I know that 1998 with Halloweentown 1 and 2001 for Halloweentown 2, I know that was a tricky time for CGI. But man, these effects are bad. They are cheesy and bad, but they're TV movies. And, they didn't have Marvel money like they do now. Halloweentown 4 came out in 2006, which was 2 years before Iron Man came out. But you would think that they would put some money into these movies. It's very low budget. If you look at the Wikipedia, I don't know how accurate this is, but it says like millions of people tuned in to watch these movies. First Halloweentown movie, it says it had a budget of $4 million. All right. I don't see the budget for Halloweentown 2. Halloweentown 3. According to Wikipedia, Halloweentown High attracted over 6 million viewers during its premiere, which is, I believe, huge, because sometimes you look at these Wikipedias like new animated TV shows that are premiering like in 2025. Some of them are lucky to reach 1 million. So the fact that this third movie in this franchise attracted over 6 million viewers during its premiere, Halloweentown High, that's a huge deal, which leads me again to go back. Why isn't Kimberly J. Brown a huge star? By the way, the little sister in the first movie is adorable, and then her part was reduced in the second movie, and then clearly they didn't know what to do with her. So in the third movie, it says she's mentioned, but she doesn't appear in the movie. I don't even remember them mentioning her, but at least they mentioned her and they didn't, Judy Winslow her ass. So let's get to, I started Halloweentown 4, Return to Halloweentown. I don't really know, I didn't read enough about the story behind this, but apparently they recast Marnie Piper with Sarah Paxton, who I'm not familiar with, but she is married to Zach Kreger, who wrote and directed Barbarian and Weapons. So I don't know why they recast. From the little I've read, Kimberly J. Brown said she was completely game to do the movie. The premiere for Return to Halloweentown scored 7.5 1.5 million viewers. So there was an audience for these movies. I started Return to Halloweentown, and then I was just like, I need a break. Literally everyone returned for Halloweentown 4 except for Kimberly J. Brown. The movie opens with Marnie looking through clothes or something, and then Judith Hoag comes in, and she's like, "What you doing, Marnie?" And I'm like, what is this? Bizarro Town? It's just going to be too weird for everyone else to return and everyone to be like, "Hey, Marnie." And it's just weird. I need some distance. Before I continue on this journey. Obviously, Harry Potter and Halloweentown, they share some similarities, but the vibes are completely different. Harry Potter, even by installment 2, it starts to get really dark. Halloweentown's not really spooky. It's not really dark. It's very family friendly. It's very much geared towards kids and families with young children and young children with families. But I enjoyed it. I have heard about these movies for a long time. I've heard them referenced, and I've heard the term Halloweentown. So I'm glad I watched them. Again, I cannot emphasize them enough. They are so cheesy and corny, but there's something really likable and lovable about them, and something really charming. Debbie Reynolds is so charming. Kimberly J. Brown, she's so lovely, and in that third movie, she's so funny. My favorite line is the little brother who's, trying to get into the troll's pants, like a literal troll's pants, and then they get into an argument, and he says something like, "So you think I'm really ugly?" And then Marnie walks by, and she's like, "Oh, you're the last to know. It's okay." She's so funny. She's so funny in that third movie. But that's all. I just wanted to give my thoughts on the Halloweentown franchise. It's the type of movie where if I was 13, I would watch it, and then I'd be like, if I was with people, I'd be like, that was the gayest thing ever. And then I'd go to my room, and then I'd cry at how touched and emotional that the movie made me feel. But I watched them alone in my room at home. They're fun and very inoffensive, innocuous. They're just good, solid family movies. I wish the effects were about 1,000,000 times better.